Hello, my dear fellas. As I have already told you, I am receiving more threats, so you know what happens when I get a threat. It seems some people are extremely annoying. It seems they want to continue pushing their politics and their story to the next level, so I'm just responding to those threats. Now I'm going to make another video against their fighter. I like actually this guy, but he has a very toxic fan base. We are talking about Aleksa Camur, and we are going to discuss about the moment when Knight pulled out a total domination over Aleksa Camur, and I really believe this should have been 30-26. William Knight was having his night back then. I mean, if we forget about William Knight's last performance in the UFC, he was really having a great night back in the days when he smoked out Aleksa Camur. So I just have to say that this was a horrible performance of Aleksa Camur. And yeah, William Knight's legendary domination of Aleksa Camur is going to be the name for this video, and we are going to look back. Back then, Knight was 8-1 OO UFC. He was trying to make good on his debut against the unbeaten Camur 6-0 1-0 UFC, and these two heavy hitters combined for 13 knockouts across their 14 career wins. The referee, Lucas Bosacchi, could have had his hands full when the fists start flying, but Knight was sprinting out of his corner to touch gloves. He backed off in time to avoid the front kick, aimed at his face. Camur reached with the left hand, came up short. Then he flung out of a naked front kick. Knight countered with an overhand right. He bowed Camur to the ground. The unbeaten fighter was trying to spring back to his feet. Knight pressed him against the fence, where the two were jockeying for position while trading knees to the body, and there was reversals in the clinch. They were trying to impose their will. Camur attempted and failed to trip Knight's legs out from beneath him, and Bosacchi was asking for two guys to start fighting as they appeared to have ground to hold against the fence. Camur obliged by landing a few knees, but another warning comes to ask for more action. Was a pretty much boring round one, but Knight powered out of the clinch, got bullied back to the wall where Camur was sneaking in. An elbow landed few knees, but Knight again went to muscle his way free. His strong style fighting fighter didn't allow this, and Bosacchi separated the two men. Knight was walking forward, throwing front kick, missed, and went after a low kick while ducking out of the way from a big high kick. Knight slapped hard with a kick to the opponent's calf, fired off a jumping switch kick, and a powerful combination at the end of the round. As the round ended, and Knight actually did a great job. It was a 10-9 round, but it wasn't a total domination of William Knight. But I believe he did a great job here for the opener. And round two was total domination of William Knight. After touching gloves, Knight started off with a front kick. He was marching forward with low kicks. Camur was coming back at him with kicks on his own. When Camur strided forward, Nightmare darted out of the way, got pressed to the clinch. Camur pushed him into the fence before ripping Knight down to the ground with a quick trip, but Knight tried to scramble but gave his back up. Camur was in an odd position that looked like a potential setup for Twister, but Camur has never been a master of Twister because Knight twisted out and turned to take the top position. Camur simply somehow stood up and left his neck exposed. Knight grabbed on it, aiming for a guillotine choke. The undefeated fighter pulled his neck free. Camur landed few knees, short shots, but Knight threw him to the ground, to the canvas. He was starting to rain down heavy punches that were right on the mohawk line of the back of the head. Camur was powering his way back up, turning Knight's back to the fence. Camur stood tight and he was aiming for a trip, but Knight didn't stop landing. He continued taking side control. He was improving his position. He was grinding his elbow on Camur's face. Camur was holding him tight to not eat shots. Knight was dropping big bombs before reaching for a straight arm lock. Camur powered out but gave his back in the process, and Knight hooped on the top in the mount, landing big bombs. Camur got his man back to half guard. Knight was hunting for an arm triangle choke before fishing for a straight arm lock. Knight gripped Camur's left wrist, torqued it with all of his might, and the bell saved Camur from tapping to that nasty Americano lock It came so close to the finish, and I can only say that it was a brutal round 2 for William Knight. William Knight, I believe, won this round with a score of 10-8. At least I scored it that way, but judges were obviously high because the final scoring was 29-28, 30-27, 30-27 for William Knight. Round 3, another glove touch in the final frame. Knight came out firing with several low body kicks. Knight committed to the calf kicks and got countered over the top with the right hand. Camur crashed forward to clinch up, but he was using his elbow to trap Knight's head to the fence, and Knight muscled his way forward and took Camur with him by sheer power. Knight was hooping into the side control with this. He gripped onto one of Camur's wrists for another lock, but Camur felt danger, powered out of the position. The two were scrambling wildly until Camur ended up on the top, but Knight brute forced his way back up while on the balls of his feet, and he pushed Camur around while grabbing the lead leg. Camur elbowed him in the face to stop that, and Knight again was looking to change level. As Bosaki was asking for more action, Knight answered the call by scooping Camur up and slamming him down, taking half guard. While staying away, Knight dropped down a right hand, a big right hand, or two as precious seconds tick off the clock for Camur. Knight continued landing big bombs. He was advancing to 3/4 mount, made Camur look miserable while slamming him in the face with left hand. Knight kept Camur's left hand wrapped around his head like a seatbelt. Knight was pounding him out with more thudding fists, and Knight sat up in the mount, appearing to salute the camera on his corner. He also wrecked Camur with a final elbow before the horn mercifully sounded to end the fight and to save Camur from further beating. It was a one-sided ass whooping where William Knight was swinging the hammer. Oh, hello, Steven. This is just a good night story. Yeah, I was just telling a good night story on how Aleksa Camur lost his pride against William Knight. Epic legendary beatdown of William Knight over Aleksa Camur because his fans threatened me, so I just had to fire back. When somebody's fans threaten me, I always make a video against their fighter, and this time it wasn't different. Aleksa Camur is fighting next week, and one of the idiots told me, listen, if you post this video, I'm going to find you and I'm going to teach you a lesson, etc. Well, I have a message for you. Find me, teach me a lesson, do your job, don't just threaten. I have just made a video against your fighter. Oh, good luck shadow boxing, man. I'll probably go now. I will stop the stream. I'll probably go now. Thank you so much for supporting me, Steven. You're one of my greatest supports. And on Wednesday, I will go to the tailor to send you these amazing shorts. You deserved it. Thank you so much, everything. And guys, keep sending threats. I keep making more videos. Don't send threats. No videos. That's how it works. Catch you later. Tomorrow I will stream. Yeah, catch you, Steven.